Hi, great parents. Welcome to Value Added Parenting, a platform where we, as intentional parents, are deliberate about raising a happy and fulfilling child. In this video, we are going to be looking at how to make children obey. There is a saying that if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable to them. So if you see a child as a president, how will you treat him? So that's what we're talking about here. How can children obey? Establish your child's identity. Make up your mind on the kind of child you want to raise. Travel to the future. Are you raising a president? Are you raising an ambassador? Are you raising a governor? Are you raising an accountant? Are you raising a happy and a fulfilling child? What are you raising? You use that pictures of the future to relate with that child now. How do you relate with a president? Do you just nag at a president? Do you just shout at a president? Do you just flog a president anyhow? No. So when you know the future of your child, when you know the kind of children you want to raise, that will help you on scripting on how you want to relate on and how you want to raise that child. Write out the vision, and you can as well get pictures, because pictures work so well and fast. And you place this picture where he or she can always see it. Remind your child of his or her identity. Always is very important. Whenever you see a sign of misbehavior, something out of line, what do? Maybe something like fighting, something that is out of line, that is not a good behavior. Instead of you yelling or shouting, just remind the child of his identity. If you refer your child as a king, just let him know that kings don't fight like this. They use wisdom in handling issues. Yes, so you can use different examples. So with that, the child will like, okay, I'm a king. And don't expect this to happen in a day. You have to keep emphasizing it. You have to keep saying it till it sinks into them. Trust me, whenever your child is faced with such situation, there is a program response that has registered in the mind. That's exactly what your child will do. Your child is going to apply wisdom because you've been reiterating it, you've been saying it to him, who he is and how his identity, how they handle issues. Also, for parents, we have to be deliberate about how we now relate with them based on their identity. Like I said, you already told your child about his identity. Now, we as parents now need to work on ourselves. Now need to work on this conscious of that identity. Not reminding your child of who he is not. Our day-to-day activities is what that is going to determine this. It's not that once in a week. No. From the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, we have to be deliberate about our action, about what you say to them, about how you handle issues before them, about how you relate with friends and family when your children are there. You have to be deliberate. It's not that you tell them this is your identity and you are doing the opposite. So we have a lot of work to also do. The gathering, you allow them to go, they are kings. So you have to be mindful of the gathering you allow them to go. You have to be mindful of what you expose them to as when it comes to screen and gadgets. So as a kings, you start building them like a royalty. Study more about royalty. What do they do? How do they relate? Things like that is very important. In my previous video, I think I talked about values, family values, and scripting. You write down, it's like a system. You script it out, you write it out. Okay, this is how we want to be doing this. It's very important. Let the identity begin to define how you as parents relate with your child. I'm going to say that again. Let the identity begin to define how you as parents relate with your child. It's very important. The way you relate with that child, when an outsider has come, that's the way they are going to relate with the child. When your maid come, You explain to them the identity of the child. Your grandma, uncles, auntie, when they come, explain to them the identity of the child so that they can help you to relate with them the way you do. For example, my son is a king, is a royalty. And how do you treat a royalty? When the boy misbehave, I don't just shout or spank him. I just breathe. When this happen, I know parents, you want to yell, you want to shout, just breathe. Count 1 to 10 in your mind. That helps you to calm down. Then you think. Sometimes you need to keep saying it for it to sink. When he misbehave, what do? I always remind him, you are a king, you are a royalty. Have you ever seen a royalty behave this way? Have you never seen a royalty act like this? And it tells me most of the time, no. So why are you doing this? This does not portray who you are, And sometimes I put on my drama queen whenever I see a behavior that is out of line. Like, oh, where is my son? Where is king? So where is king? Where is the royalty? I can't. Where is he? So with that, when he see me doing that, he'll be like, oh, I have done something out of line. So he'll be like, mommy, the king is here, the royalty is here. I was like, yes, this is my son. Or he changed the attitude, or he does the right thing immediately. So I'll be like, yes, now I see my son. Yeah, this is my son. So things like that. So please, it's very important knowing your child's identity. Travel to the future. What type of child do you want to raise? What type of children do you want to raise? Once you know it, write it down. If you can get a picture that looks like it, paste it on the notice board. It's important you have notice board for your children and for yourself. Post it in the notice board where everybody can see it. When you see it, write down how you want to be relating with your child. That thing, that future you see, how do they relate with them? How do you raise such a child? So in that mindset, that's the way you begin to raise your children. You can use this summertime to practice that and every other day forward. Till I come your way again, kindly help us share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.